Hey, good evening, and welcome to DJNTV DJ Talks Night. I'm going to be here hosting with my good friend, Mr. Bill Hermann. Good evening, Bill.
Hi. Hi.
How are you doing tonight?
I am doing amazing. This is the best time of my life. Everything is great. I'm making plenty of money. I can't get enough gigs.
Wow, day drinking
already? My phone
already?
is ringing off the hook.
Oh, wait,
I have 14 weddings tomorrow alone.
Wow.
Money is pouring in.
Something is pouring. I don't think it's money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably something else. It's that
You got to stay positive, right?
Yeah, positive. To a fault. Hey, thank you guys for joining us tonight. We've got a night set of educational content. DJNTV DJ Talks is basically like TED Talks that DJs out there from around the industry, around the world, literally, are going to be sharing some information and knowledge in 2 nights. Tonight, Monday, Tuesday night, tomorrow night. Literally, we've got from Australia. I think we've got from the UK. We've got a couple of people from the United States. Even, I mean, we're going everywhere.
No,
yeah, just incredible.
Every name on this list are people that you, if you had a chance to sit down with for 10 minutes, you would pay huge money for. So, and we've put these people together for you tonight and tomorrow in such a way that you're going to be able to, I mean, you better have a piece of paper. You better be taking notes. Okay. You won't be able to act on everything that you hear tonight. That's how much stuff you're going to get.
And there's going to be a lot of great stuff shared. That's for sure. Just getting things lined up here. If you're watching on Facebook, there's going to be a link in the chat. That is the YouTube link where you need to go tonight. When we do our prizes, we're going to be giving away 2 $100 gift certificates to an LFX Pro that you can go and use to buy whatever you want. So if you buy 4 things of gaff tape or 5 things of gaff tape, they'll probably be free for you.
Wait, for $100, you're going to get 4 things of duct tape?
I don't know how much gaff tape is. It's been a while. Last time I bought gaff tape, I bought like 4 or 5 rolls at a trade show from an LFX Pro, and then I bought a bunch of other stuff.
Better deals than that. I do.
It probably does. So yes, that will be going on. We're going to the show will be going from about 8 o'clock Eastern to about 10 to 10:30 Eastern tonight. So that's, if you're going to kind of pencil in of when you want to be here, those are the times, because you've got to be in the YouTube chat when we say, hey, the 17th person to write, how awesome Bill Hermann is. If you're the 16th person, sorry.
First of all, if there's 16 people that says that, then bless you all.
Bless them.
Because I live with 3 women won't say that.
I can imagine so. You've got 2 of them the 2 daughters are like, Dad.
Yeah, okay, whatever, Dad.
Yeah. So Well, again, thank you guys for being with us tonight. We in the intro when we first started, we had talked about the 2021. Our next DJNTV Talks night is going to be happening in January. That'll be January 11th and 12th. Then, but before that, we've got our next DJNTV Virtual Expo coming up in October. So that's not too far away. If you just go into Facebook and search DJNTV Virtual Expo, it'll take you to the page. And that's coming up in just about a month, just short of a month.
That's pretty extraordinary. What are the dates again on that?
The October event, I believe, is the 12th and 13th. Monday, Tuesday, 12th and 13th. It's a 2-night event, and we've got a lot of great speakers. My goal for that one was actually to have, I believe I wanted to have like 4 speakers a night. And you know how I am horrible at saying no to people when I've got really good people who have content? I think I'm up to 73 a night. Okay, maybe not quite that.
Yet every time you say no to me, I'm having a tough time with this right now.
Well, we do have, there is that base guideline we've got.
Well, you got to remember too, not only is this going to be a great couple of days, and everything that John puts together with DJNTV is extraordinary every single time. But the people that are making this available to you are not only a DJ event planner, once again, one of the greatest systems for managing your business than you're going to find out there. I've been a part of that company since its inception.
Literally.
And Troy is a good friend of mine, and that it's a great company. If you don't know anything about it, reach in, find out more, reach out to me. I actually know more about it today than I have in the years past. Believe it or not, I think that Troy would be very impressed with me right now. Plus, there are people that pay to be a part of the DJNTV Insiders.
Yeah.
And that is a group that's a private group of people that share all of the knowledge that DJNTV and Disc Jockey News has been gathering for the last, 20 years. And that's within the DJ Insiders group. And they believe so much in the power of this group and the small subscription fee. I mean, a tiny subscription fee to be a part of it, that they are sponsoring this for all of you. They are really making this available because they're saying there needs to be more people here.
Yeah.
Because of this is how good it is. And we want to show people how good it is. So it was the members really that did what it took to be sure that all of this happens tonight.
Exactly. Yes. We got a big thank you to those DJNTV Insiders and DJ Event Planner. I see Michelle's with us, Trevor's with us, Sam, Howie, got a lot of people coming in tonight. Bill, we need to get our first segment going here tonight. Because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've got 10 sessions tonight.
Yes, and the first one is from a pro that's been around for a while, and he's talking about overcoming adversity, which especially right now. I mean, we are living in nothing but adversity. This is an adversity that none of us saw coming. Something that usually we things run in. Show up for us, and at least we can find a book that says this is how you get out of this. You can find somebody who says, oh, I did that, this is how this works, and follow this path, figure this out. You can have that. Nowadays that's more difficult, a lot more difficult, because we're dealing with brand new uncharted territory. And this next speaker has been around a while, and I think he's unlocked some information to really help you to overcome what you're dealing with right now without actually having to have a pathway set up for you.
Yeah, exactly. Ron is a huge Disney person, and he takes many lessons from Disney and applies those to the entertainment industry. Obviously, Disney is entertainment, but he's got a little walk back in time in the Walt Disney World. So let's jump into our first session tonight with Ron Ruth.
Hi everyone, I'm Ron Ruth, keynote speaker and customer experience designer, and today we're visiting Walt Disney's Laphogram Studios in Kansas City. Today I'm standing outside one of my absolute favorite Kansas City landmarks, Laphogram Studios. Early in the 20th century, this location also became known as the cradle of animation because of the number of talented animators who got their start in this very building working for the owner of Laphogram, Walt Disney. Now, as a student of Walt Disney and the Disney Company, every time I drive by this location, I'm inspired not so much by Walt's eventual successes, but in how achieving success required him to adapt to adversities along the journey. But as he put it himself, all the adversity I've had in my life, all my troubles and obstacles have strengthened me. You may not realize it when it happens, but a kick in the teeth may be the best thing in the world for you. Walt Disney lived in Kansas City at two different times in his life, from 1911, when he was 9 years old, until 1917, and then again from 1919 to 1923. The second time was arguably the most influential time of his vast career. At the conclusion of World War I in 1919, 18-year-old Walt was already a very talented artist and had studied at both the Kansas City and Chicago Art Institutes. He returned to Kansas City after serving in the Red Cross in France with the hope of finding work as a political cartoonist. The first job he applied for in that field was with the Kansas City Star newspaper, but he was sent packing because a short-sighted editor found he lacked imagination and had no good ideas. Soon after, though, Walt's older brother Roy, who worked at a local bank, found him a temporary apprentice position creating ads for periodicals and movie theaters. It was there that Walt would meet cartoonist Ub Iwerks, another individual who would become well known in the world of animation and influential in helping Walt achieve his dreams. When their temp jobs ended, Walt and Ub tried their hand at starting a commercial art business of their own called Iwerks Disney. But times were tough and customers were few. Walt needed money to survive and was forced to leave that business to work as an artist for the Kansas City Film Ad Service Company. Walt's work at Film Ad introduced him to the art of animation, and with a borrowed camera and a book on the topic of animation that he checked out of the Kansas City Public Library, Disney began to experiment with this new medium on his own time. In 1920, an imaginative and industrious 19-year-old Disney believed he was ready to start his own animation company. He set up shop in the second floor of this very building here behind me in Midtown Kansas City. And with the assistance of only one employee, Walt worked a deal with local theater owners to show his cartoons in his movie theaters. Those cartoons proved to be very popular, and it wasn't long before Disney was able to hire a number of talented animators, including his friend Ub. In 1922, things were going so well for his company that Disney acquired $15,000 from backers and incorporated Laphogram Studios. But between the high salaries Walt was paying his artists and his inability to make a profit on his studio's expensively produced cartoons, it wasn't long before Laphograms was bogged down in debt. On January 4th, 1923, the landlord sued for unpaid rent. Employees began quitting due to unpaid salaries. Disney could no longer afford to pay boarding house rent, so he started sleeping in his studio. He ran up a food tab at the Forest Inn Cafe on the first floor of the building. Would have been right here on the corner. When he was unable to pay his cafe tab, he ate beans from a can and leftover bread at his desk. And in times, a crumb or two would fall on the floor. Those tiny little morsels became a feast to a small mouse that had also taken refuge in the studio. In July 1923, with Laphogram in bankruptcy, Walt sold his camera and bought a first-class ticket on a train bound for Los Angeles to try his hand at directing. But that didn't work out for him either. However, noticing that there weren't any animation studios in Los Angeles, he convinced his brother Roy to help him set up shop. In 1927, Disney found his first major success with a character he created called Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. But that success was robbed from him by a scrupulous film distributor in New York who claimed trademark ownership and took over all rights to the character. Plus, he hired away a good number of Walt's most talented animators. Walt was a survivor and didn't let the adversity keep him down. He simply adapted as he had always done so he could continue moving forward. On the train ride back from New York to LA, Walt and his wife Lillian had a brief layover right here in Kansas City. where Walt was reminded of the little mouse he had befriended at his old Laphogram Studios. Inspired by that memory, he spent the rest of his journey to LA sketching out his next big enterprise, a cute little mouse that he named Mortimer, but later changed to Mickey at the suggestion of his wife. 3 Mickey Mouse cartoons were quickly produced. The first 2 didn't sell. Bankers rejected the concept of his famous mouse over 300 times. So in 1928, Walt added synchronized sound to the 3rd cartoon, Steamboat Willie, and it was immediately a hit. It also became the first cartoon to use synchronized sound. Walt quickly earned a profit for the studio and his way back to the top of his industry. Plus, he was awarded his first Oscar for the creation of Mickey Mouse. Even with his success, Disney still faced adversities in keeping his business afloat. Not only was he overworked, tensions led him to have a nervous breakdown. And after taking some time off to recuperate, he returned with a bold new idea. He would develop the first full-length animation feature, which he titled Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It was released in 1937 and became a huge box office success. Yet, the 3 films that followed, Pinocchio and Fantasia in 1940 and Bambi in 1942, wound up being flops. What I admire most about Walt is that he just dusted himself off and kept moving towards his goal. Setbacks never slowed him down. A lesser man would have quit. Fortunately for all of mankind, Walt believed the difference between winning and losing is often not quitting. For much of Walt's life, he faced all sorts of adversity, from lack of finances to labor disputes to a studio shutdown during World War II to a disastrous opening day, later referred to as Black Sunday, at Disneyland in July 1955. But because Walt was a very determined and resilient visionary, his perseverance, finding his way through adversity, especially Disneyland, led to greater successes. But here's the thing. Adversity, perseverance, and resilience are not exclusive to Walt Disney. There are a number of successful business owners and entrepreneurs over the decades who have also overcome adversity through their tenacity and ability to adapt and will to succeed. You are no different. Overcoming adversity in your life or business, especially in difficult and uncertain times, requires a combination of hard work and never say die attitude. As Walt once said, when you believe in a thing, believe in it all the way, implicitly, unquestionably. Get a good idea and stick with it. Dog it till it's right. Don't abandon your ideas because of obstacles in your path. Embrace the value of perseverance and resilience, knowing, just as Walt did, that adapting can lead you to more worthwhile activities and even greater successes. The lesson learned from Laphogram Studios, as Walt would say, all your dreams can come true if you just have the courage to pursue them.
So that was Ron, Ruth. I got to shut that. There we go. It's talking back to me.
Ron is always awesome, isn't he?
He does. He puts a lot of energy and effort into it. You know, they did some editing and graphics and things coming in. It was really kind of a fun thing, especially if you've watched some of the Disney kind of documentaries that are out there and talking about that time. It's just kind of a neat thing to see one of a friend of ours right there where it happened.
I think if I ever went to Disney without my kids and my wife, even probably with my kids and wife, I'd want to be there with Ron because I think he really ought to be working. He probably knows more about that company than the people who work there.
And he's a student of the
Truly
process.
a student. That's a good way to put it.
Good way, yes, for sure. So thank you guys for being with. We've got a nice crowd. We've got about 70 some watching right now on the different channels. If you're watching out on Facebook, there's a link to the YouTube. Go find that somewhere because we're going just a little bit later. We're going to be doing a drawing and such for.
You have to be on YouTube to win the prize,
and you got to be on YouTube. That is correct. So we don't want you to miss out.
And it's like $200 worth of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. We've got one. We're going to be doing a little earlier, a $100 certificate. Then we're going to do
$800.
A $100 certificate.
I'm like, wait a minute, I want to sign up.
No, and then we'll have a second one a little bit later, and those are for the viewers who are watching us on YouTube. And then we'll have, I just went through and put together all the presenters from both nights. So we have 20 people who are presenting. We've got a few more people tomorrow night than we have tonight. And we're going to take those 20 names, and as they're part of being on the show or doing a video, they are entered into a drawing. If you want to get in on the January one, just reach out to me after the show and say, "Hey, John, I want to do a TED Talk type of a thing for the January show," and you can be part of it because we're going to do drawings and prizes for the people doing the videos, and then of course for the people watching. So
now wait a minute. If somebody wants to do a talk,
yes,
do they have to have an idea, or do you tell them, I'd like some people to talk on these subjects, and do they come back? How does that work?
Well, typically what happens is ideally we want a 10-minute. Some of these are a little longer, some of them are a little shorter. Mm-hmm. Really what I'm after is their passion area, something they're passionate about that they can share, and there can be some takeaways. Like you heard Ron talk about at the end about how adversity doesn't really define us, and in times like this, you can still move forward, and there's things that people can take from it. And you're going to find that through pretty much every talk tonight that there is. Some of the topics are very similar from night to night on a couple of them. That's okay, because some people will hear different things from different people, even if they're saying about the same thing. So it's really not so much of making sure we have unique topics all the way across the board. What I'm really after is something you're passionate about, because if you're passionate about it, that's going to come through in a camera, and people will pick up on that and really kind of hone in on what you're saying because they can see the passion, rather than it's like, oh, I was told to talk on blue paint. Well, blue paint is a color that people use in a calming way, that kind of.
Yeah, but I mean, if I'm excited about blue paint, you're gonna know.
Yeah, that's true. There would be that. There would definitely be that.
So somebody wants to do this. How do they reach out to you, and do you vet them as to what they're gonna do? Or?
Yeah, we talk a little bit about what it is, and there's been a couple of folks as we've talked about the process, and they're like, this just isn't for me, and that's cool. I understand that. Some people like to have more of an interaction, like what you and I are doing. So we moved them to a Monday night show where we can talk and have that back and forth, because they're just like, I don't feel comfortable talking to a camera. No problem. A couple of folks they started, and they've done 10 versions of their video, and they're like, this is harder than I thought it was going to be. It can be. It really can be. So, and that's okay. Not to put anyone down who this isn't their thing, because
except for that one guy.
Except for that one guy, yeah. And it's like, it's like this B. Hermann from Prior Lake, Minnesota. I told him that it's like, dude, just give it up.
I know. He doesn't get that point.
Okay, we need to get to our next presentation here. Aaron Thomas. Aaron is a DJ who had an experience at DJ Expo, and that's what he's going to be really getting into. That led him to learning more and being part of a cruise ship DJ world,
which is something that I've thought about. I mean, when I was younger, and I didn't have like a house and a wife and the kids, and I never knew. I knew that was possible, but I never knew how I could go about becoming a part of that world and becoming a DJ or an MC or something on a cruise ship. And Aaron's going to talk about that specific thing on how his path that gave him a chance to work for one of those companies.
Yeah. So this will be an interesting little presentation. Aaron Thomas is up next.
DJ A-Rock coming from Ohio. Of course, we are in a virtual world right now, but I want to thank DJNTV for inviting me to be a part of their series they're doing right now. And I'm here to talk to you about being a cruise ship DJ. Let's get going. So, once again, I'm DJ A-Rock here in Athens, Ohio. If you look it up on the map, we are an hour and a half south of Columbus, Ohio. Very small town. If you do a Google search on my area, first thing going to come up is the university, Halloween, and probably more about Halloween, which is the third largest block party in the country, especially when it comes to what? Halloween. But besides that, we have a wonderful college, football, basketball, all the sports, and much more. Now, what I'm here to talk about is not just where I live at, but how I went to where I live at to being a DJ on the high seas, working on some of the largest vessels in the world. So I take you back to DJ Expo, August 2014, and I'm walking through the expo and I see Carnival Cruise Line with a table set up. First I'm thinking is, why is Carnival Cruise Line at the DJ Expo? Are they giving away free cruises? What are they doing here? So I went up to the table, approached the wonderful staff there at the time. I said, hey, what are you guys doing? And the guy said, hey, we're looking for DJs. That's why we're at the DJ Expo. Duh, right? So anyway, they invited me up to a room to do a live interview right there on the spot. At the DJ Expo, they said, hey, meet us in this room here in 15 minutes. We're doing open interviews. Bring whatever you got. We got all equipment there. We got a pair of CDJs and we got a controller. Come on up. And I said, all right, well, why not? I'm one of those people like take advantage of opportunities and not kick yourself a year down the road. Say, hey, why didn't I do that interview? So I went through, I did the interview, 10-minute set, just, giving the vibe of what it should be like on a cruise ship. Lucky for me, I had just got off a cruise months before. So guess what? I already knew what the vibe was on a cruise ship, right? So anyway, long story short, about 2 months later, I get a phone call from Carnival Cruise Line offering me a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be a pro DJ on their cruise ship. Now, when I say a ship, I mean a large vessel, 270 tons, 4,000 people on board with 1,300 crew members working. That's when I mean a cruise ship. Now, I don't know how many clubs you go to, but I don't know too many clubs to hold 4,000 people besides being at a festival somewhere, right? So I took advantage of the opportunity. They sent me out to training on January 1st, 2015. So exactly 5 years now. I've been working for Carnival for 5 years and about 6 months. So during that time, I had the opportunity to work with so many different people, especially my first contract. With over 1,300 crew members on board, you got 200 different nationalities speaking over 200 different languages on board one vessel, and we all come together to work as one. So as a pro DJ on board the Carnival Cruise Line, you have to know how to work the crowd, right? People say, well, cruise ship, you play line dances, and more line dances. Well, not really. There's only so many line dances you can play on a cruise ship, right? So basically, I'm in charge of programming up to 7 hours of music a day on the ship, 7 days a week for 3 months at a time. People are like, why would you want to work that many hours a day DJing? Once again, I tell you this, once in a lifetime opportunity. So many people can go work in a club every Friday and Saturday night. So many people can go out and do weddings. You got DJs doing festivals. You got people doing picnics, block parties, so on. But how many people have ever had the opportunity to work as a DJ on a cruise ship? Now, with this virtual thing we got going on, if you look behind me, all these videos running behind me are from the cruise ship. This is what it's like to work on board one of the largest party ships in the world. Carnival Corp owns over 100 ships. Carnival Cruise Line has 26 ships. So the 26 ships, we have 50 DJs transferring out between all the ships at a time. We're going for a month at a time, 2 months at a time, 3 months at a time, or if you really want to try it, you can do 6 months at a time as a contract DJ. So let's go to the next question, right? What do you need to know to work on a cruise ship Well, what do you need to work on a cruise ship? So before I actually walked on board the cruise ship, a couple things that was important to have. A passport. That's to work any international event. If you're traveling overseas, work at a resort, you got to have a passport. Now, with most places, such as the cruise industry and some of the larger resorts, you need to have medical. When I say medical, you need to be in seafarer shape condition. Whatever that means, you need to make sure you can work on the ship and not have a heart attack, basically, right? Make sure all your vital signs are good. Make sure your health is good, your wellness. All right, third thing you need, have all your vaccinations. You got to have vaccinations. So these are three main things you need to have before you even can walk on the cruise ship, right? If you get the job, these things you got to have. Don't say, I want to work on a cruise ship and don't have a passport. That's going to stop you. That's from any cruise line out there. You got to have a passport, okay? So you get those taken care of. What's the next move? Well, fortunate enough, when you go on a Carnival cruise ship, they have all the gear sitting there waiting on you. This setup is sitting on board the ship. They have the CDJ 900s and they have the S9 and all the clubs on board. What? There's a club on board? Oh, I forgot to mention that. Yes, there is a club on board all the ships. So you go in, it's just like you working in any major club, including one of them even having 2 floors, a Frankenstein in the middle, another one have cages in it, LED dance floors, all the bells and whistles, state-of-the-art nightclubs on the ship. So much to take in when you get on board. But that's the thing you got to have. Those 3 major things are important to even apply for a job working on a cruise ship. Now you're sitting and say, man, you say you working 7 days a week, 7 hours a day. Why would I want to do that? Well, like I said, so many people can go do weddings. So many people can go out and do clubs. But how many people say you can have the advantage of working on a cruise ship? Right? So for me, I was bored. I was bored out of my mind. I was basically saying, you know, I'm doing 30 weddings a year as a single op operator. I'm doing sorority parties. I'm doing the bars. I'm doing private events and whatever else. Even had a photo booth business. So I'm doing all these events and everything seemed to repeat itself. And I've been doing this for over 20 years as a personal DJ, single op DJ, okay? Going out, doing these events. So the past 5 years, I took a change. I took a pivot in my life. I took advantage of my skill set from all the years of working with so many different diversity groups in my college town, in my area, you know, so many different cultures in a college town, right? I took that knowledge and transferred it over to the cruise ship. So that was my pivot. This was the change. So in January 2015, I walked on board the cruise ship, not knowing what to expect. Did a 2-week training with the DJ that was already on board. She walked me through everything I need to know as a DJ of what I need to know how to get to each different spaces on board, you know, what music they had there for me, you know, the equipment that was there, what equipment was stored, you know, our schedule, our itinerary, everything. 2 weeks, learning all 2 weeks. So my first 2 weeks was a struggle because now I had to figure out how to adjust my time. Because we may be on Lido, which is the open deck up by the pool, out in the sun, you know, from Lido to a atrium party to nightclub. And I had to look and say, how can I work 3 different events in one day and not play the same song? Now, how can I work in a nightclub 7 days a week and not play the same set? That was one of the best experiences I ever encountered because now it made me think outside the box. We all can go to weddings. We know our top 15 bangers that's going to get the dance floor popping. We know what songs we can slow it down to, and we know how to bring a crowd back up. We work in a nightclub. We know what songs to put on at 12 o'clock versus at 1 o'clock versus at 2 a.m. We know these things. But on a cruise ship, you don't know because you don't know who's going to show up at your club. Now, you see right now, you see the club in the background. This is one of the clubs on board. You see the cages, see everything running in the background. Now, with that being said, you see these same people for 7 days. Your goal is to make sure these people attending the club do not know your set list, right? As a DJ, you always want to have that power. You want to have that effect. You want to say, you know what? How can I make these people really, really, really want to party every single night and not know what you're going to play? Versus you going to the club every Friday night, once a week. Then 7 days in between, people ain't going to remember this. Well, I'm seeing the same people every single night for 7 days straight. Now, in that time, there's 4,000 people on board. We may get 300 to 400 in the club on most nights, 200 on some nights, and then some nights if we have an early port day, which when we stopping, we may get 100 people in the club. But regardless, these people are on board with me for 7 days straight. So my goal is to be as creative as possible so they don't know what I'm playing. Now, with that being said, working for a corporate company like Carnival Cruise Line, you have restrictions. With coming on board, you are working for a multi-billion-dollar company. You coming on as a contract DJ, but you are contracted to work for this company. Now, Carnival, unlike some companies, provide you all the gear. So we have CDJs on board with S9 mixer, plus we have 3 controllers on board, 3 SR controllers on board, or SR2s or SX3s, whatever they may send us. But we have all these controllers provided to us. Not to mention, they give us laptops. So we get on board, laptops are there from the previous DJ. Serato is already set up for us. Then we got to go through and build our crates. So that's always the challenge. Get on board and start building crates as you get there. Because the previous DJ may have a different style than you. So you come in, the challenge is take that same 10,000 songs that's on that computer and make it work for you. Unfortunately, we can't play our own music due to all the copyrights, all the restrictions, all the stuff that go into buying music, replaying it, selling, however you want to put it. Carnival provides all the music for us. Now, some people are like, oh man, that's no fun. I like to have my own remixes. Yeah, but once again, that's the challenge. If you can't put a set together with the 10,000 songs provided, then you got to start rethinking what you're doing, because that's the challenge of a DJ, right? Having that monkey wrench thrown at you to say, hey, you know what? Make this work. Make this work. So with that playlist, with that library, you have music from Bollywood to top 40 to hip hop to old school hip hop, 80s music, 70s music, 60s music, ballroom dancing, Caribbean, soca, Latin, cumbia. What else? If you can think of it, we probably have it on the computer. So when it comes down to creating a playlist, the resources are there. You just got to make them work. Prime example, usually around Christmas time, busy time on board. Ship I was just on this past winter, at one point we had 4,600 guests on board, 1,350 crew member on board. So 4,600 guests. Now, that 4,600 guests, you got to think, how many of those guests are kids? Well, we had 1,300 kids cruising during the Christmas season. Now, with that, I'm there to entertain these kids in the daytime by the beach pool. So we're up there line dancing. We're up there doing all the TikTok songs and everything else. But my job is to make sure I can play music that appeal from ages 6 months to 106 years old during the daytime. Because that's who's out there on an open day. Now, when it comes to nighttime, like nightclub's 18 and over. So now the music style is a little bit different. So we look at how can we, as a DJ, appeal to these audience. Once again, a lot of people get stuck in their norms. Oh, I can go to this nightclub. I know this group is going to show up at this time, and I'm going to play this music, and this is what they're going to like, and I'm going to make it work, right? So we get stagnant. We say, oh, you know what? I know what works. With this, I can never get stagnant because my wheels is always turning to create a better playlist, a better music selection, a better experience for the guests every day, every week, for usually 3 months straight. Right? So people say, oh man, why, once again, this was my pivot point. I was burnt out from DJing. I was looking for a new opportunity. Like, what else can I do that would keep this fresh, keep me happy, keep my love up for DJing? And this was it. This was working on a cruise ship, 5 years later, here I am. So even during the pandemic, I'm still reaching out to other cruise ship DJs. We're still chatting. All of us, we cannot wait to go back on board to work. All right, so here you are. So, man, you're talking about working 7 days a week, 7 hours a day. Do you get a day off? Of course we do. We get a day off, and when I say a day off, we get a day off because the nightclub's open 7 nights a week. This happens. You're there for entertainment, you're there for the guests, nightclub's open. But you do have a day off, right? So on that day off, you usually get basically you off 8 hours during the daytime at a port of call. So say we're in Cozumel, I'm off 7-8 hours in Cozumel, Mexico to go do what I want to do. As long as I get back to the ship and get ready for work, I'm good to go. So going to Cozumel, first contract on board. My very first year working, I was in Cozumel 13 times. Every Friday I was in Cozumel, and then we would go to Jamaica. We go to Belize. We go to Honduras. And that was just my very first contract on board. My last few contracts, I had the ability to go to Puerto Rico, Belize again, Jamaica. So many different places. Private islands like Half Moon Cay. We went to Martinique. Aruba, so many different islands you get to explore, and guess what? You're not paying for it. It's already there. It's there. You're on a floating hotel that you're getting paid to be at as a DJ. So these are some of the perks, It's like, once again, it keeps you fresh, You're like, man, I'm getting off here, and especially some of these islands, I like to go and listen to some of the music that's playing in some of the bars and the restaurants and the islands, because I want to hear what the music is on that island, so I can try to make it work with my sets on board. So, it's so many different things you can look at as far as the DJing. But once again, that was my pivot point in my DJ career. So I'm here today with DJNTV, just to talk about, some options out there. We are in the middle of a pandemic. We're doing virtual streaming on Twitch and Mixcloud and Facebook and Instagram. And that was great the first 2 months. And then I'm sitting like, I can't wait to get back in front of some real people. Can't wait to get out and do a wedding. Can't wait to go out and do a sorority party. I can't wait to just interact with people. So on the ship, you're interacting with 4,000 people, not including crew members. So what is my responsibility as a pro DJ on board? Right. My responsibility as a pro DJ, I'm in charge of all the music for the nightclub. So I'm in charge of putting that together. If we have a second DJ on board, they will be called a host DJ. Carnival had a program called Apprentice DJ, and then they switched to host DJ. And your job as a pro DJ is to mentor the apprentice or host DJ. That was one of the best feelings I had, to actually work with another DJ who was just getting into the field, want to be a pro DJ on the ship, want this to be a full-time gig, and working with other DJs from countries like the Philippines, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Lebanon, Canada, Mexico, all these different DJs. And it's nice to work with them because you find out the music they know from their home country while you train them about the music from the U.S. Because 9% of the people cruise on the ship are U.S. citizens. So you got people from California and New York. They're not going to like the same music. You got people from Georgia and Ohio. They're probably not going to like the same music. You got people from Texas and Minnesota. They're definitely not going to like the same music. But as a DJ on board the ship, you got to appease to everybody's taste in music. One contract I had, I was in Texas. And this was it's always a funny story because I worked some Miami ships before, Latin music, you got stuff in Puerto Rico, but down in Florida on the ships out of Miami, you're running salsa, you want a reggaeton, basically in a little bit of bachata. But when I went over to Mexico, well, not Mexico, but Texas, most of the people were over there from Mexico, in the west coast part of the country. They wanted to hear no reggaeton. So I was playing cumbia, banda, bachata. That's what they wanted to hear. So Pitbull was not on that list of music. Shakira got a little bit of airplay, but Selena, Cumbia Kings, club packed, dance floor booming. So that right there gave me an experience, because I would never got that experience being in Ohio. To find out the two different, it was like for me, the comparison, like the East Coast versus West Coast during the hip hop battles. Biggie versus Tupac, right? So here I am looking at, I got the reggaeton versus cumbia. Both of them got the dance floor pack. Two different areas, right? Two different genres of music, but two different demographics. So, it's so much out here. But, I just wanted to share my experience as a cruise ship DJ, because I know a lot of us, we're getting burnt out doing the same thing every single weekend. Let's go do a wedding. Let's go do a wedding. Most weddings are different, and they still the same, right? We're going to work the nightclub. Let's go to nightclub. Let's go to a club. We're going to be in the club. We're going to do a festival. Same thing. On a cruise ship, I didn't know who was getting on board every week. Every 7 days, 4,000 different guests would join the ship every single week. So every 7 days, I have 4,000 new people ready to party on board. So, you're like, man, that's, it ain't too many opportunities you can get that. I mean, unless you're working in a high volume tourist areas like Las Vegas or Atlantic City or Chicago, New York, that you in the club and the crowd is changing over every single day, every single night. On a cruise ship, every 7 days, 4,000 people. Now, the question that I always get, how much does it pay? It varies, right? But I tell you what I don't think about is the pay. The last I think about is what I'm getting paid on the ship. Yeah, it's important, but I think about what I'm gaining while working on the ship, and what I'm not paying for while working on the ship, right? What I'm not paying for food. I'm not paying for a room. I'm not paying for my laundry to get done. I'm not paying for use of the workout facilities on board. And I'm definitely not paying for vacation. And of those 7 days a week working, 4 days you are sitting at a port of call, near a beach, near some mountains, somewhere you can go explore. Of the 7 days, 4 days you're sitting at a port of call. So when it comes down to pay, I don't worry about the pay. Because for me, what I get back from the pay is what I get when I get home. Because you can have all these DJs out here saying, yeah, I can do your wedding. I can do your party. I can host this event. I can MC this for you. What's your experience? Oh, I've been working for Carnival Cruise Line. Done deal. Because people know that brand. They know that brand recognition. I can walk in most places and brides and grooms at a wedding expo. They want to know, oh yeah, have you done weddings? Have you done this? Yeah. I've done actually 4 weddings per week for 3 months straight. How is that possible? On a cruise ship, someone's always getting married and they always want entertainment. So many different aspects that you have to sell that you don't worry about the pay you're receiving on the ship. It's what you're going to get off the ship. It's that resume builder. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about. So once again, I'm Aaron Thomas, aka DJ A-Rock. You can find me at arockentertainment.com. That's AROC entertainment.com. DJArock.com. DJ A-Rock Ohio on Instagram. And of course on Facebook /A-Rock Entertainment. So once again, thank you DJNTV for having me be a part of your virtual expo, and I hope to see you all soon on board a Carnival cruise ship.
DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
What's up, everybody? Mike Walter with another behind-the-scenes music story of a song that you probably play at your events. You might not admit to it, but you ever play Mony Mony? You ever think what that means? Mony Mony? What the heck does it mean, right? It actually doesn't mean anything, but here's the story behind it. Tommy James, lead singer and songwriter for Tommy James and the Shondells, was basically a rare case in the 60s. He was rare because he was a rock and roller who was American. You think about the 60s, most of the rock and roll that was being produced were the British invasion bands, right? The Beatles, the Stones, the Who, the Kinks, all those great bands that were coming across the pond and breaking in the States. There were very few American bands, rock and roll bands, certainly. Motown had a huge share, but very few rock and roll bands. But Tommy James was one of them. He had a couple of hits early on. And then in 1968, he sat down to write what he called a throwback party song. He just wanted to write an old-time rock and roller, like something that came out of the 50s or early 60s. Matter of fact, Louie Louie was a big inspiration for him. He wanted to write something that sounded a little bit like just a party anthem. And his thought was to have a female name, 2 syllables, and just repeat it right after, kind of like Louie Louie, Mary, Mary, Carrie, Carrie, whatever. So he sat down to write this song, and he had everything laid out, the beat, the instruments, the rhythm, the lyrics, but he couldn't come up with a name. He's racking his brain. He needed a 2-syllable name for this chorus of this song. He has an apartment in New York City. Finally, he's just like at the end of his rope. He sits out in his apartment, he's smoking a cigarette, and his apartment overlooked a sign for the Mutual of New York Insurance Company, Mony. And he just saw that in the distance and he said, Mony. Maybe I'll just make up my own word. And that's how he came up with Mony Mony. So Tommy James releases the song. It gets to number 3 on the chart, so it's a fairly big hit for him. That's in 1968. And then 13 years later, Billy Idol decides to cover the song. His studio version actually went to number 7 when it was initially released, which is a fairly big hit. But then he released a live version of it a little bit later. That went to number 1. And most people now think of Mony Mony as the Billy Idol song. I think he made it more famous, especially more recently. But it was originally a Tommy James song, and the way he came up with Mony Mony was just looking at the sign for the Mutual of New York Insurance Company.
So that's
man, I love watching Mike, man. He's so smart.
He is.
And so well versed, and he knows all those stories, man. I love that book of his, man. I don't think I'm ever going to get to every one of the stories. I pick it out, I read 1 or 2 of them, and I put them aside because I think if I don't, I'm not going to get anything done.
Yeah, he does have a great book. I put the link in the chat room where you guys can pop out to go check that out. But if you just go to DJ Mike Walter and then .com, djmikewalter.com, that will take you to the spot where you can get the book and you can see a lot of his training materials. Definitely one of the books I would get. And what's really cool is that my father is a music buff from the 60s. His love of music is what really got me probably into a lot of what I do. So I had the book and I showed it to my dad.
Yeah.
I don't have the book anymore. so and my father.
Now say that again because I know Mike is watching and he's probably going to go, "Wow,
absolutely loves."
He's sending you another copy.
Absolutely loves the book. So it's a great gift, Christmas gift coming up here. Definitely for the music lover. Okay, Bill, we need to give away our first $100 certificate.
Oh, that's right.
So, Bill, I want you to. What we're going to do is Bill's going to give us a word, and I have no idea what the word is. You need to type that word into the chat room. Bill, go ahead. What's the word?
Banana.
Banana. Type banana only once per
This
person.
is going to have to be in the YouTube
chat.
Right?
Type banana in the chat. And what we're going to do is we're going to give you 2 minutes from now. You have 2 minutes to type in. That is your entry. We're going to take all of the people who write banana. We're going to put them in a numbered list. Then we're going to go to an official number generator, and we're going to do the spin of the wheel and find out who is going to win the first $100 shopping spree at NLFX Pro, nlfxpro.com.
So if they have the $100 shopping spree, can they drive to Bemidji and go into the showroom?
Okay, they're doing it really fast.
And pick what they're doing to do. There's a lot of bananas. That's okay.
Please only do it once.
Supposed to.
Please only do it once
because I want to make more than 3 people watching.
I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. So please.
Well, that's okay. We don't have to count them up. We just have to count down from the top one to the bottom one.
Okay, that's true.
Because I'm going to give you a number from the random generator machine.
3. But then again, we got to make sure no one's doing it twice. So, Robin, if you see anybody who does it twice, please bounce the second one if you could. Only do once.
Supposed to be doing this?
What's that?
Who's bouncing it for us?
Robin. Robin's out there.
Robin, you're the best.
Okay.
So if somebody's upset about how this goes, we get to blame it on Robin?
No, we blame nothing on Robin because Robin is got to be one of the straightest shooters. She makes me look crazy and wild.
Wow, that would be really difficult.
Okay. And by the way, if you are a speaker, a presenter, if you're in a chat room, you can still be eligible for this. You could do both of them. I do not have a problem.
Oh, you mean I could put the word banana in there?
You could, but
so if I win after giving you the number, no one's going to have a problem with that.
Yeah, that won't. That doesn't sound sketchy at all.
I don't think that's going to work.
I'm typing.
I don't really need to. I don't need to win. I just need to really pad my invoice for my talent fee.
Yeah. Yep. You just get it right on that.
Yeah. You could double my fee, right?
Yeah. Well, we'll get right on that.
Is it still? There's still a lot of banana coming up.
Yep. I'm getting.
You can only type the word banana once.
Please, only once.
YouTube chat thing. But and how much more time do we have? If you're just getting on now,
we've got 35 seconds. So
35 seconds, and you haven't put the word banana in there.
Yep,
yet.
just one time, please. Just one time, please.
So, and now I'm guessing that we look at the amount of people watching right now. We don't have to, and I could just pick a number between that and that.
No, actually, I'll as soon as I.
The number generator.
The number generator will do it. That's going to
give.
That will be the one. Let's see. Okay.
With 35 more seconds to be able to.
Yeah, we got to be about 15. Give us a countdown here.
Good. Now, if you're just getting here, what's happening is you go to the chat and you type the word banana. Okay, and you've already done it. Don't do it again because then you'll disqualify by the evil one, John Young.
Evil.
And then what you're trying to do is win a $100 shopping spree at NLFX Pro, and it's $100. Get whatever you want for you get 100 $1 things or one $100 thing, whatever you want to do.
Okay, we are there.
How many $1 things do they have there?
They have none.
Okay,
so that's
then that kind of screws what I just said.
Yeah, they probably do, but
we need to get Ben on here so he can answer my question because I think that's a good question. How many $1 things do you have at NLFX Pro? In fact, maybe I'll go to the website and I'll type in. That'll be my filter, and find out what he has for $1.
Yeah, you are such a big spender.
Well, you never know. Okay, so I've seen a couple more bananas now.
Okay, I'm just numbering right now so we know how many we've got because I want to get a number by each name.
Okay, but the person has to be listening, right?
Correct. They've got
to just type banana and leave and win.
Yeah, because if they don't give us the passcode that we are going to give when it's all over, and then they have to know the handshake.
Why are you making this so difficult?
And then they have to know your favorite color and what you wanted to be when you grew up. And if they know all of that, they can win.
I think that if they win, they just have to come to my house and pick it up.
Okay. 30. We have 30 entries. And that is it. We are
Channy
close.
just jumped on.
Okay.
How you doing, Channy?
So I'm going to switch screens here now. This is how high tech we're getting here tonight.
Okay, so no, pay attention because we know what we're doing here.
Okay.
Are you keeping me on camera at least?
No, you and I are going to go off camera.
Oh no.
So but they're going to hear us. So this is, I'm going to flip this over, and this is the generator. And we have 30 people, so we're going to do.
I don't see the generator.
You won't see it, unfortunately. So because this is,
I don't get to see it.
You don't get to see it. I'm sorry, but it's set
I'm
for.
looking right at the YouTube right now, and I don't see it.
There's a 30-second delay. Is this your first time?
Oh, so I need to keep talking for 30 seconds
to
before I
see
can
the
see
number
it.
generator. So
why is there a 30-second delay?
There is, because of the profanity that we like to use.
Yeah, but I mean, most broadcasters need 7 seconds.
We're just that much of a potty mouth. Okay. So what we're going to do is now Bill's going to give me a number between 1 and 10. We're going to hit the.
Wait. What you didn't say I was 1 and 10. You said I could pick any number I wanted.
Listen, 1 and 4, and I'm going to, for each number, whatever the number is, I'm going to hit the generate that many times, and whatever the last number is, it's going to be the winner, which is between, again, 1 and 30. So, Bill, the number between 1 and 10 is what?
7.
7. We're going to spin the wheel 7 times. So,
if you were 7, I should have picked 10.
GNC would have been our first winner, but sorry.
No, don't do that. Now you're going to make me the bad guy for the first 6 tries.
3, 4, 5, 6, and now this is number 7. This is the winner.
I don't see anything. Okay,
it's getting there. 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
All right, I'm sorry.
And here it is. Our number is 3, which is, let's see, David. I'm going to have to see which David it was. It was up. Howie. David, you were right behind Howie on the. Because Howie was number 2.
Write down his full name.
I was writing so fast.
John. You are going to be in this. People are going to sue you for this $100 in the worst way.
So we got. Let's see. Going up. Yep. I've got all. There's Howie's.
David. Wolf.
Yes, David Wolf, right there. David Wolf. Congratulations.
Down by Wolf.
Congratulations. I was typing so fast I didn't get to type.
You got $100.
David's got $100 to use at NLFX Pro. David, reach out to me after the show and I'll get your email to get it to them, and then they will get you all hooked up. So
okay, well, how's he going to reach out to you? How should he do that?
David, I think is. I think we're connected.
Let me give him your personal cell phone number.
Yeah, my personal cell phone number is. Let me see.
And your address.
It's a
and
Sprint,
your wife's personal cell phone number.
Phone number from Prior Lake. It's.
Whoa.
Okay, congratulations, David. We will be doing another drawing here in just a little bit. We've got more show coming. So, speaking of Howie, who was number 2 on our list, but not number 3. Sorry, Howie.
Howie could have won.
He could have, and he's still. Howie's got a couple of chances yet because he's doing a video. His video's up next, and then of course he's in the chat room. And you know what? We just want to give stuff away. We really don't care to who and why or anything except if they're from Prior Lake. But everyone else has a chance to win.
Yeah. Well, and Howie has got a hat.
He does. He does have a hat in his video.
He got a hat today.
Oh, he had excellent. Yes, he had his Stetson hat, and he looked.
Yeah, he got himself a Stetson, man.
And incredibly sharp. Howie's going to be talking a little bit about lighting, and if you guys were at the DJNTV event in Vegas, Howie was setting up the scenes and different lighting to set the moods, and he's going to be sharing a couple of those tonight. So
he's really, really smart. In fact, I do know that he also, for a small, very nominal fee, has helped people. Who need to be tutored when it comes to this stuff, and he's a very, very good teacher. I mean, I don't, he's helped me with a couple of things, and I am mostly unhelpable. So he's a very smart guy, and he's very, very easy to work with.
Unhelpable,
and you're going to love this. He's going to talk about lighting scenes.
Yeah, this will be great. So, ladies and gentlemen, Howie Darkstar.
Hi everybody, I'm Howie Darkstar. I've had the same downtime you've had, so I've been keeping busy with music crates and keeping up with the currents, but I've also been fooling around with, you know what, DMX. Are you looking to add a little something extra, set you apart from the rest of your peers? I hate to call them competitors. Well, what I've done is I've made a few clips that I'm going to show you that can really bring the energy up in the room. It's nice and slow, particularly during, let's say, a cocktail hour, dinner hour for sure. We all know how to rock a dance floor when it comes time for the partying. But we can raise that up a little bit, make the people feel special if we just put a little bit of effort in. And for those of you that don't do DMX, hey, we have the time. I know that you can do it. I've taught 6 people in 6 months how to do DMX programming. So it doesn't matter what brand you have. I've used many different companies and protocols, and on the computer, on the iPad for sure. I've got, you can see, many different scenes on here, and I have 99 pages of them. But I discovered something new, and I'm going to share that with you at the end. So let's get to the clips. I'll be using my 10-foot movie screen to show you a few clips here on some uplighting techniques that I like to use. As you can see here, this is the typical odd-even color that you would use for, let's say, a wedding, a corporate, or sports would have theirs. I would also have the movers moving along the ceiling to give that Hollywood premiere effect. So when they get into the room, it's like, wow, we're somewhere special. This is very nice. However, I'm going to show you a way to use the client's colors in some unique and special ways. This effect I call the odd even fade. The magenta will turn slowly to blue, and the blue will turn to magenta. And this effect can be so subtle that it's almost imperceptible, but people will say, something's going on. But it also can be sped up later on as you're bringing up the energy in the room. And then, of course, if you do very fast, you can use this on the dance floor as well, and you are keeping with the client's theme colors. This is what I call a 2-color chase, and this will just keep chasing around the room as fast or as slow as you want. It's wonderful during cocktail hour. Nice slow chase. In an effort to give the client variety with their 2 colors, what I've done here is a 2-color fade with all fixtures in the same color. As you can see, it goes from magenta and then it'll fade back into blue. This is a nice attention getter. It could be the end of cocktail hour and you want to get their attention and say, dinner service is about to begin, please take your seats. It could be a corporate event where a speaker is coming up. They announce the speaker, people are clapping. We will use this effect, and when they are ready or people are seated, then we would go back to the static uplight colors for dinner or for the speech. This last clip is the one that I just discovered just this past week, and this is what I would use for a dinner hour. It doesn't matter whether it's a wedding or corporate or event, any kind of civic thing. And I call it the Candlelight Effect, and I stumbled onto this by doing things you're not supposed to do with programming. And I think you're going to enjoy it. The Candlelight Effect. Here it is. This is the Candlelight Effect. This can be used for dinner hour, for weddings, corporate, or any formal event. I programmed this on my screen with 4 uplights to give the illusion that you're dining by candlelight. Finally, this effect is perfect for the dinner hour. Can you think of anything better than dining by candlelight? As you can see in this clip, you can enhance a room dramatically by simulating flickering candlelight. I'd like to thank John Young at Disc Jockey News TV for this opportunity to participate. And a special thanks to Ben Stowe at NLFX for sponsoring this show tonight. Everyone stay safe out there. I love you all.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Howie Darkstar. Thanks, Howie, for putting together
Thank you, Howie.
a little demonstration.
Howie's presentations are amazing, and he's he knows his stuff. When it comes to lighting, he's just a really smart guy, and he's easy to listen to. He's easy to be a part of. You got to get to know him. You just reach out to him if you get a chance to.
Yeah,
and he has a regular show here on DJNTV.
He's involved with the chill room.
Right, the chill room.
Yep, and that's they're answering questions, helping out, whether it's music knowledge, tech stuff. He's a wealth of information. So, thanks again for that. Yeah, the candle lighting effect was just absolutely fabulous. So, Bill, before we go into Jody Harris is up next. Before we get to that, I wanted to kind of flash back to 2014 when we did our very first Disc Jockey News Virtual Expo, because we really were starting to brand the DJNTV at that time.
Yeah.
You remember back in the day when we did the little segues like this in person? First off, there was no
in person in a little studio over at Jason Jones's house, where Jason and I used to record the Bill and Jason show, the live video show and the radio show that we did. Jason and I set up. We went and got lights, and we got a green screen, and we got these little stools. And it was a very small little space, so we had to be you and me and Jason were almost sitting on each other's lap.
We were. It's
literally. I think we sat down and went, okay, we need to turn this way.
Yeah, exactly. It's
because
like, okay,
I need to scooch in behind you and scooch. Man, it was fun. I mean, and it really showed us how interested and excited that DJs were and are about being able to share knowledge with each other, to learn from each other. And that's when we really realized that DJNTV could be something that could really make a difference in this industry. And that is one thing that I've always known, and the reason why you and I have always been friends, and the reason why I always say yes when you come to me for anything that you're doing, is because what you've created really is to create something for DJs out of almost a ministry. Okay, you're trying to make a big difference in what's happening, and if there's going to be any money afterwards, then great. And I know for a fact that you should be the richest guy I know for as much content and information you've given people over the years. but I know that you're not doing it for that. I mean, this is something that you and I and everyone who's been a part of this little thing from the beginning, and even before that, we've been doing this as almost we're just trying to make a difference, real difference in people's lives.
Just trying to help our brothers and sisters in the industry to grow, to become more profitable, less stressed, whatever it is, to help make life just a little bit better. So
I agree.
Yeah. Continuing, we got to keep moving along here. With Jody Harris is up next. Jody Harris is from Las Vegas. When you head down to the show's down there, you get to meet Jody. She's a wonderful person, and she's been really
entertaining and very smart.
And digging into Instagram. She's been doing a lot of things with Instagram, and she's going to dig into that a little bit for us tonight with her social media look at Instagram.
Jody Harris.
All right. Well, hello, Disc Jockey News TV friends and family. My name is Jody Harris, and I am the owner of Sight and Sound Events here in fabulous Las Vegas. And it is quite an honor to be here with you this evening and to be part of this educational experience for everybody. So without any further ado, I would love to get the ball rolling and talk to you a little bit about social media, because that is the bomb right now. 3.5 billion, that's with a B, billion people use social media. So that is 45% of the global population. 45% of the global population is on social media. Are you? That's what we're here to talk about. I want to also let you know that the average person spends about 3 hours a day on social media. Are you one of those people? You know, there's some sort of fun app that you can get that you can put on your phone, and you can actually see how long you spend on social media. But the average person spends about 3 hours. 54% of social media users use social media platforms to research products. Again, 54% of social media users use social media platforms to research. I feel like Austin Powers. Research products. That could be you, and services. Is that you? I'm telling you, they are looking. And then 49% of the consumers depend on influencer recommendations. So that's like your reviews and things like that. So you should be posting them on your social media. The social media users by generation, these are really, really good stats. 73% are in the Gen Z category. 90.4% are millennials, 77.5% are Gen Xers, and 48.2% are baby boomers. So you know what, folks? It's all over the map. So you really, really need to be on social media. Now is not the time to not be consistently showing up. And that is the key word, my friends. Consistently. It's not like, well, I DJ'd this great party Saturday night and I'm going to post it up. It's not about that. Or, Jody, we live in a COVID world and I'm afraid to post any photos of my events. Well, guess what? You got to suck it up, Buttercup, and it's time to post stuff on social media. Now is not the time to turtle up. I'm telling you, people, that 2021 people, 2022 people, and even people who have ghosted you are going to come back, and they're going to see that you are consistently showing up on a regular basis. And that is super important and super critical. So specifically today, there's so much to talk about when it comes to social media. You've got your Facebook, you've got your Instagram, you got your Pinterest, you got your TikTok, you got the Reels. There's so much going on. But specifically today, what I would like to, over the next few minutes, is talk to you a little bit about what you can do on Instagram. Because if you are in the wedding and event world, Instagram is kind of where everybody's going to. It's the party that everybody wants to be at. It's the concert that everybody wants to go to. So you need to be in that world. And if you're not in that world, you need to learn quickly how to be in that world. And I am here to give you inspiration and to inspire you and maybe kick you in the butt. So let's get started. All my contact information is scrolling across the screen. I wanted to say stage because it's been such a long time, but the screen is so you can reach out to me on there. But specifically, let's talk about Instagram right now, okay? So Instagram growth in 2019 almost pales in comparison to its usage rates in 2020. With the explosion of Instagram and Instagram Live, I mean, if you don't know what Instagram Live is, you need to know. It's broadcasting live, just like you do on Facebook Live. You can do something called Instagram Live. Stories and hashtag and highlights are essential. I don't know how many of you do it, but it's becoming very popular. And if you want your content to get seen, your regular content, then you need to have some sort of presence on the Instagram stories and on highlights. Now, highlights are those buttons. If you pull up your Instagram right now, and let's go to mine, for example, because it's scrolling across the screen, you could follow it, Jody Harris Vegas. If you go and follow Jody Harris Vegas right now, you'll see that I have these little buttons underneath. Super, super important. I'm going to go there with everybody so that we're all on the same page together. So I'm going to give you some fun tips. So immediately you'll see my profile. I wish there was a way that I could show you, but those are those buttons, those little circles. You'll see it says weddings, podcast, press. Those are critical. Those never go away. Those are your Instagram stories that you can actually save and they'll never go away. So definitely invest in creating those little circles because it will do wonders for your business. The other thing that you need to learn how to do is you need to create what they call a one link. We call it Linktree. But in your bio, in your Instagram bio, and again, let's use mine as an example just because I'm here. Why not? It says Jody Harris, CEO of Fun, entrepreneur, a girl boss, Vegas event pro of the year, national multi-award winning event producer, creating fun events for fun people with an arrow, with the finger. Okay. Definitely make sure you take advantage and use that finger. But that finger, which is, an emoji, takes you to a service that I use that I receive no financial benefit. I don't get a cut of anything. It's called Linktree. And that is something that you guys and girls need to get involved with. Linktree. Google Linktree, because these Linktree links will allow you to almost create a little mini website of all the stuff that you do. If you're a YouTuber, if you're on Twitch, whatever it is, this Linktree will help you get people over to see your content. It doesn't cost a lot of money. Matter of fact, let me tell you, it's free. It is free. However, I went with the pro version, and again, I understand that money's tight for all of us, but I went with the pro version. It only cost me $6 a month. I think the pro version is the way to go. You tell me, but Ariana Grande uses it. Chrissy Teigen uses it. There are a lot of celebrities that use Linktree. Some of them are doing the free, and they have money. And some of them are using the paid. So that right away, let's clean up your Instagram bio. But let's talk a little bit more about Instagram. Over 1 billion monthly active users on it. The world's 7th most visited website, Instagram. I know it's not a website, it's a social media thing, but it is a website. So world's 7th most visited website. 90% of Instagram users follow at least one business account. You should be the business account they follow. The average duration of each session on an Instagram is 3 minutes. So the average session that people are using. Videos on Instagram see a 49% higher engagement than their images. So videos, if you're posting videos and Instagram stories, if you're doing an Instagram live, it seems to get much better traction. And the other thing about Instagram, if you do want to do an Instagram ad, Instagram ads reach 928.5 million people. So I've never done an Instagram ad. However, I do know people in my industry that have done them, and they seem to do well. They're out there always. So if you got that kind of money and you got that kind of time to invest in doing an Instagram ad, then I would highly recommend you do it. I only have a short amount of time here with you, and if I'm talking fast, it's just that you're listening really, really slow. But I do have a short amount of time here because we're trying to keep these to about 10 minutes, and I've got about 2 minutes left. Well, how I want to spend my next 2 minutes with you is I want to talk to you a little bit about hashtags. Hashtags are so important. Hashtags is how your content gets found. So you need good, powerful hashtags, and you need to stay away from what we call the black hole hashtags. A black hole hashtag is any hashtag that is over 500,000 users. Over 500,000 users. That is considered a black hole hashtag. So a typical, and that's how people find you. When I told you earlier that people are using these to research, they're typing in things like birthday party. They're typing things in like Las Vegas wedding DJ. They're typing in things like celebrations. That's how they're finding people. But if you're in the black hole, like for example, let's take the word love. Perfect example. Let's take the word love. If you are using the word love in any of your Instagram as a hashtag, you might as well give that hashtag away. Instagram allows you 30 hashtags in a post. 30 hashtags in a post. Many of you, I look at lots of your accounts, many of you are not taking advantage of that free real estate. 30 hashtags. Many of you are just using 5, and you're using the worst 5 hashtags ever. You're using things like event planner or DJ, or you're using things like love, or you're using wedding. Those are bad. Events, you're using the hashtag events. They're not going to find you because what happens is that you refresh. So when you're searching, for example, love, hashtag the word love right now. Search Instagram, hashtag the word love, and go to recent. Look at the top 6 pictures and refresh that page. When you refresh that page, in a matter of seconds, any content that you were looking at seconds ago has disappeared because it went further down the list. So you'll have a much better and a much more productive experience with Instagram if you use a non-black hole hashtag. So that would be anything between 10,000 users or 10,000 posts to 500,000 posts. So for example, let's talk, since I'm talking to a bunch of DJs right now, let's just use the word DJ party. If you use the word DJ party or hashtag DJ party, you have a very good chance of being found under recent posts, because as I'm looking at a list right now, DJ party has only got 208,000 users in it. So DJ party is a great hashtag to use. DJ service is another one. It has 33.3 thousand people using that post. So it's a really good one to use. If you're using event production, it's not a good one. If you're using event professional or PROFS, not a good one to use. So you really, really, really need to be in that sweet spot. Many of you are doing green screen and you want to use the hashtag green screen. I'm going to tell you not to use the hashtag green screen because it's over 500,000 users. So what I've done for you is I have a list. I have a list of over 650 hashtags, power hashtags that are in the sweet spot for you. If you're interested in getting that list, not only is it a good list to know what hashtags are in the sweet spot, I also include hashtags that are the black hole. that fall into the abyss. So it's a great opportunity to see what hashtags not to use. And again, don't make the mistake. Why are you using 5 hashtags when Instagram gives you 30? That's like you've got 30 chances, 30 chances for people to find your stuff. Like you're crazy. You got to use it. Trust me, it makes a difference. It makes a difference. Also, with the power hashtag list that I have, you will also get ideas to create content as well. Let's say you do a lot of weddings at a golf course. There is a hashtag for golf course weddings. And guess what? Golf course weddings is not a black hole. So this list that I'm going to provide for you also has has content ideas. So I know I'm really pressed for time. The list is available. You need to contact me. There's all my social media stuff flying across the screen right now. I know that I'm only allowed to go 10 minutes. I did go a little bit longer, but there's so much to talk about when you talk about Instagram and social media. So right now, I want to thank John Young. I want to thank all of you for being here with me to learn more about Instagram and social media. I'm always available if you guys want to reach out and talk to me, or reach out and have me answer questions for you, or maybe even you want a review of your Instagram account. So I am Jody Harris. I'm from Sight and Sound Events in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. You guys have a great day. Be safe. Be healthy. Peace out, everybody. Woo!
DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Mike Walter with another behind-the-scenes music story for you. Here's a slow song that you probably play at your events. Eric Clapton's Wonderful Tonight, right? Beautiful, beautiful slow song. Great one to close out the night. It's late in the evening, blah, blah, blah. There's a great story about how Eric Clapton came up with this song. Take you back a little bit before that, though. Eric Clapton was friends with George Harrison from the Beatles, right? They had become friends in the mid-'60s. At the time, George Harrison was married to a beautiful actress and model by the name of Pattie Boyd. Eric Clapton, even though he's friends with George Harrison, makes the mistake of falling in love with his friend's wife. Now, it was an unrequited love for many years. Clapton, there was no fooling around, there was nothing inappropriate, but he had strong emotions for George Harrison's wife, Pattie Boyd. In fact, he wrote a couple of songs about her. Layla, if you listen to Layla, I'm down on my knees, I'm begging you please. He's singing that song. He wrote it and he sang it for Pattie Boyd. So he had this passion for this woman. Finally, Harrison and Boyd break up and Clapton moves in right away. They start dating and they eventually get together and they're living together. So in 1976 now, Eric Clapton, Pattie Boyd are a couple and they are invited to a party by Paul and Linda McCartney. Now that's important, okay? So the ex-bandmates, by this point the Beatles are broken up, but the ex-bandmates of George Harrison, Paul McCartney, has invited Clapton and Pattie Boyd to a party. They're getting ready to go out, and Pattie Boyd is taking forever to get ready. Clapton's ready, he's ready to go. There's probably a limousine waiting out front. Pattie Boyd is taking forever, putting on different dresses, fixing her hair a million different ways. Think about it. Why is she doing that? Because there's a good chance she's going to a party that Paul McCartney's hosting. There's probably a good chance in her mind that she's going to bump into her ex-husband at this party, and she wants to look F-I-N-E fine, right? What woman wouldn't? Wants to make the ex jealous, right? So she's taking forever. Finally, Clapton, he gets frustrated, he's waiting, picks up his guitar, he just starts strumming along, and he basically starts singing about what's going on. It's late in the evening, she wonders what clothes to wear. She puts on her makeup, she fixes her long blonde hair. And then she comes out and she says, "How do I look?" And he says, "You look wonderful tonight." Finally, Pattie Boyd is ready. She comes out. She probably figures Clapton's going to be pissed off, mad, you kept me waiting. He couldn't be any more different. Clapton's like, honey, look, listen to what I wrote while you were getting ready. And he plays her the beginning of Wonderful Tonight. Of course, he would finish the song later, talking about staying late at the party and everything else. But I just love that story. If Patty Boyd had gotten ready earlier, we would never have Wonderful Tonight. Isn't that amazing? If she had gotten ready sooner, Clapton wouldn't have been kept waiting, and he wouldn't have had that time to sit down, strum the guitar, and write the lyrics to Wonderful Tonight. We would never have that song.
Woo!
Woohoo!
Woo!
Woo! Oh wait.
Man, oh man. Mike Walter getting opened up by Ric Flair. I mean, Ric Flair doesn't come out very often.
Not often anymore.
When he does,
brought it.
He's there to open for Mike Walter.
That was incredible. Incredible, I tell you.
I love Jody.
Yeah, the quote of "It's not that I'm talking fast; it's that you're listening slowly."
You're listening
That's
slowly.
Funny. That is very, very funny.
I wonder if the first time she said that was when she was talking to Pat, and he was like, "What? Wait, slow down."
Funny.
I love Jody.
So we are working our way through. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sessions left. We've got a couple of prizes yet to be doing. So we've got some.
Hold on. I'm steaming up my glasses.
Yeah, there is that. But we will persevere.
Well, I don't want to get any bug out of you. I'm taking this off.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it was that cough. you can breathe now. Oh.
All right.
We were being cautious. Scott Carroll is up next. Scott Carroll, one of our DJNTV insiders, and is in the chill room and has done a lot of different things here with DJNTV and been very supportive over the time here with us. A great person. Scott's going to be taking a little bit different with a thinking without the box when there is no box.
Thinking without the box.
When there is no box. You know, they talk about thinking inside the box or outside the box. What happens when there is no box?
I don't have what. I keep my stuff in my box.
Well, we'll find out exactly what Scott's talking about next.
What am I going to do?
Hello, Scott Carroll from Scott Carroll Entertainment here in North Florida. I am so glad to be a part of DJ Talks. I just wanted to let everybody know. I hope you guys are staying safe out there during the coronavirus pandemic and wearing our mask and, of course, doing our social distancing as well. Our business has really kind of hit a milestone during this, but I've been able to take lemons and make lemonade out of them by thinking with no box. Downsizing, that is the biggest key right now. Doing smaller events, micro weddings, those seem to help. My last wedding I did was March 21st. We started out, it was supposed to be about 100 guests. It got down to probably less than 25 at the wedding in someone's backyard. Basically what we did was ceremony on one side and reception on the other. We downsized a lot of different things that they were going to do. They decided not to do them to make it as really close-knit family as it could have been. The only dance they did was their first dance. Everything else was just kind of background music. They were mingling and what have you. They did cut the cake, and we went through a lot of other transpiring things during that wedding as well. After that, I got an idea. Why don't we come up with the micro events? And I said, you know what? Micro weddings, smaller events. Yes, I'm not going to charge as much, but I can still bring people together with less than 50, because that's what we were allowed here in Florida, was less than 50 basically at an event. And places that you could go to as venues, that's what they were allowing, and they're still pretty well set on that through 2021. And that's what our concept is. That's what we're looking at. And that's the reason I say that is something that you might want to look into with your business and grow it, is even if you have to pull back a little bit, you can still move forward by growing your business this way. Even though we've got these obstacles in the way, we can go around them. I love the concept that a lot of our guys out there have come up with, the drive-up theaters or the outside theater. I think it's great. If you've got a projector like that and you want to move forward with something like that, that is one way to do it. I was just thinking of things that we could do to make our business more simpler to do. I'm not all about going on live and DJing. That's just not my cup of tea to be able to do. I like to be out there with the guests, entertaining them. First and foremost, I love music. And for me to see the guests have a great time with the music that I'm playing, taking requests, and being open about our entertainment, that's where we need to be at this point. Think positive. Don't think negative about everything. And I know there's a lot of guys out there that are that DJ in clubs, and I empathize with you, but there's other things that you can do as well. Once these clubs open back up, whether they have a patio where you can DJ outside, a more open air setting, think about all those different things when you go back to doing clubs. Some are doing big outdoor camp type events that they're doing, but there are other things that you can do even if you are a club DJ as well. Perhaps you may have to take a hiatus as a DJ. A lot of guys have had to do that. Go back to a 9-to-5 job for a while. You're going to have to do that to supplement your income. Remember this, you can always go back to being a DJ. You don't have to all of a sudden, oh, that's the end of my career. I'm done with DJing. I'm retiring from it. You can always go back at a pivotal point. Even if you have to sell your equipment, make sure you save and keep all your music that you've accumulated, your library and what have you. Keep all of that. You can always go back to getting more sound equipment, lighting gear, or what have you as well. And don't think that, oh, that's the end of the world on it and you're done with it. I'm getting older, yes, but I've found ways to lighten my load by getting lighter speakers and just various things that's helped me throughout my career. Our photo booth is doing well. We are doing more or less with our party props, kind of a throwaway party props that the guests can buy, and it's use it and throw it away. And then I have party props that I'm able to wipe down after every use. Yes, it's kind of a pain, but hey, this is what we have to do through this coronavirus pandemic right now that we're going through. Please wake up, smell the coffee, and still you can have a great time as a DJ during all these times. Please do that for me. Have a great day.
Mitch Taylor here for Disc Jockey News, and wanted to come to you today with some thoughts on dreams, on living, on dying, and how to get what you want in this world. So let's first chat about the dream. What is it that you have for a dream? Specifically, like, write it down. Where do you want to go in life? Desiree in the song You Gotta Be spoke about listen as your day unfolds, and challenge what the future holds. You have to listen. You have to challenge what the future holds. Because if you're not listening as your day unfolds, you don't know truly what is going on around you. And you have to challenge what the future holds in order to get that dream that you want. What is that dream? Now, for my wife and I, we had always dreamed at some point to be able to live where we could hear the waves. It's a beautiful thing when you can wake up in the morning and hear the waves crash outside your door. At least for me it is. But then my wife and I met on the water. That was one of our dreams. What specifically is one of your dreams? The key is people see on the outside what you put out there on social media. They don't see all the hard work, the blood, the sweat, the tears, everything it took to get this. For me to be able to live where I could hear the waves crash. So that's the point of this video. That's why I'm chatting with you right now. Is to lay out the foundation, lay out the steps for you of how I got to be here. And frankly, this wasn't the plan. It wasn't the plan for me to be here now at all. When they say challenge what the future holds in that song, that's what I mean. You have to challenge what the future holds. My original plan was to be here in this spot, living where the waves crash 10 years from now. 10 years from now. And I was able to do it sooner. Why? To cover that, I have to go all the way back to 17 years ago. When my wife and I made the decision to move to the Upper Peninsula to raise our family. I was moving to a town where I knew nobody. And opening up a business that I had never started before in a town where no one knew my name, and I had to start somewhere. I had to start by being disciplined. Disciplined means that I put in the work. I worked a full-time job, and I also worked at my DJ business on the side, quote unquote, to grow it, to bring it to where it is currently, and to grow it beyond where I thought it could be. So that's putting in the long hours, that's networking, that's taking client calls, meeting with clients, hitting up lunch hours, those kinds of things. Really putting in the work to make sure I could grow the business. I had to listen to people. I had to listen as my day unfolded. I listened to people tell me that yes, you can in fact teach other people to do what you do. And I had to let go of my ego. The ego that said, you're the best person to do it, you do it. If you want to grow something beyond what you currently have, you have to grow as a person first. And that was crucial for me. I'd like to thank Mike Walter, other mentors in my life, for helping me get to where I am at this point in time. So I grew the business. We expanded the company. We grew to other talents. We trained them properly. And we worked hard to build Tailored Weddings to what it is today. But that still doesn't put me here. In 2013, my wife and I took probably our most expensive vacation ever. And coming off of that most expensive vacation ever, which we had a blast, we ended up joining Financial Peace University. And that course changed my life. That course was $120. And it has made a profound impact. That $120 investment has grown to
thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of savings, of investments, of betterment in my and my wife's life. If you haven't taken Financial Peace University, I would encourage you to do so as soon as you possibly can. But that also wasn't just about taking the course. There were many other people that took that course, past brides of mine included. And then I saw them not put into place the steps it took. In other words, they didn't put in the work like I did growing my business. I knew if I wanted Financial Peace University to work for Michelle and I, that I had to put in the work. And so her and I both went through the process. We listened to each other. One certainly was a saver and one was a spender. I'm the spender, by the way. And again, we put in the work to get to where we are today. But without Financial Peace University, I wouldn't be able to live where I can hear the waves crash and achieve that ultimate goal. The next part of the process, though, that brings me to being here now, being able to come to you where I can hear the waves crash every single day and achieve that life goal, it goes back to my friend Eric. You see, I was best man in Eric's wedding in 2009. He was a DJ in Metro Detroit at the company I worked for, and we met in the year 2000. And I trained him as a DJ. We became great friends. Again, I was best man in his wedding in 2009. Eric was diagnosed with cancer in 2016. He fought a hard fight. He overcame cancer not once, but twice. In July of 2018, Eric made his final trip to the Upper Peninsula to see my family for what was a yearly tradition of being together on the 4th of July since we moved up here in 2003. Eric and his family made it here every single year except for a year of his marriage and one other year to be with us. But I knew that 2018 would be the last year that Eric would be able to join us because he was too weak. In fact, the trip here in 2018, it almost did him in. And so, with that information, 3 weeks later, I was scheduled to fly out to Australia to keynote the DJAA conference. And my wife and I happened to drive by a house for sale on the same road that my sister-in-law lives on here. And we knew it had beachfront property. And she goes, "Oh, there's a house for sale on Christie's Road." I said, "You want to stop?" She goes, "No." You know what that means, guys. So we turned around, we came down the road. We looked at this house. And owners let us in. It wasn't actually, open house yet. They weren't opening it till later in the day, but they let us in to use it, to check it out and stuff. And we continued on the way to Chicago. And we talked about the house and where the kids were. It's another school district over from where our kids currently go to school. And we just had the conversation. And in my head, I'm like, this is so bad timing because I'm not going to buy a house that is, when I'm on the other side of the world. Like, we have to wait till we get back. And we're going to be 10 days roughly in Australia by the time we got home again. So we kind of let it sit on the back burner. We got home, house still available. Long story short, we bought the house. It has not come with trials and tribulations, though. We have certainly had trials and tribulations. This mound I'm sitting on right now is our current septic field because the old one failed and passed the septic inspection. But lots of issues as we remodeled the house and gone through things. And if you follow me on social, you've probably seen it. But the point is that if we hadn't had that dream first of wanting to retire and live where we could hear the waves crash, which we originally thought was going to be somewhere Florida, Alabama, South Carolina, a condo, not literally walk out my door and be on the beach and be on the water. We wouldn't have got here without having the discipline to make it happen. We wouldn't have got here if I hadn't grown the business. We wouldn't have got here if we hadn't joined Financial Peace University, not just joined and taken the class, but put the steps into practice, followed the baby steps. We wouldn't have got here had we not had the plan and had the vision from the start. So that's what it is, my friends. You have to have the plan, the vision from the start. You have to listen as your day unfolds. And then we had to make a decision. When the house was available to us, we had to challenge what the future holds. We had to sit there and challenge ourselves like, hey, what if we could do this now? Because we were planning 10 to 15 years from then to do this. And this wouldn't happen. It wouldn't be here right now, hearing that beautiful sound, if my friend Eric hadn't passed. Eric's lesson to us was live like you were dying. I know it's a song as well, part of what I wanted to tie in here with you today. But Eric's lesson to us was live now. Don't look forward to someday. If you can achieve a goal now, do it. Tomorrow is promised to nobody. So you don't get to live where the fishes are by just wishing. You have to have the plan. You have to dream it. You have to put in the action steps. You have to get to work. And then when the opportunity hits you right between the eyes, you got to seize it. You got to grab it. You got to take advantage of it. It's kind of been my life story. Be ready for the opportunities that come your way and hold on to them, grab onto them. Don't let them go. It's an amazing life as long as you put in the work to get to that dream that you want to achieve. I'm Mitch Taylor for Disc Jockey News. Thanks for watching.
All right, come on now.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
It was. It was.
I used to live on Lake Michigan.
I was going to say that's the only reason why you're
watching them sit there makes me cry for it again. I mean, that's just beautiful, beautiful, man. Talk about anything is possible. That's great.
And I think that the whole story behind how that that dream 10 to 15 years down the road, and the door opened. And they had the chance. You got to either jump and go, and making that happen and being in position. Just a great story there, Mitch.
Well,
Thank
you
very much.
and honestly, be in the position because the position may show up anytime.
Yeah,
anytime. You can do your best. What you got to do, like he said, is you got to be ready for when it shows up. And he was. And even if he wasn't, the possibility is there, the opportunity is there, and you can make things happen. It's pretty extraordinary, right?
It is. It definitely is. Let's give away a couple things. We've got Michelle Miller coming up, and Tony Fernandez here, and then we've got two drawings left. We've got the one for the speaker. We'll do that right now, and then we're going to do the final.
We're giving away one of our speakers.
Yes, we're going to give
Which
them away.
one?
Actually, what we're going to do is one of our 20 presenters that are involved with this DJNTV DJ Talks event is going to win. One will win a $500 gift certificate tonight, and then tomorrow night it will be 19, and one of them will win a $500 gift certificate to an LFX Pro tomorrow night. So
what?
So we're going to do this pretty much the same way as we did the last one. I'm going to move over the magic.
Well, wait a minute. The speakers.
Okay, I'm going to come back to us.
They have to be watching?
They do not have to be watching because they've got some of them.
Because they contributed, man.
Many of them are, but yes, this is kind of the little bonus thing for them, and kind of a thank you for that being part of this. So I went to we've got the magic number generator. It's set from 1 to 20. And once again, Bill, I'm going to ask you to give me a number of how many spins we should spin before we have the magic or the actual winning number.
So this is for the 20 speakers that you have total, or the 20 speakers you have? You didn't have 20 tonight.
No, we only had 9. Tomorrow I think we have 11 or 12. So because Mike Walter had 2 of them, and he's only getting 1 entry into this. So
I was going to say.
So there's 9 tonight.
That's pretty slick with Mike there. Getting himself in here a couple times.
No, that was my choice to have the music. So there's 20 total.
Anybody who's speaking tomorrow,
I'll go through.
They can win today too.
Correct. Ron Ruth, Aaron Thomas, Howie Darkstar, Jody Harris, Mike Walter, Scott Carroll, Mitch Taylor, Michelle Miller, Tony Fernandez are today. Then tomorrow,
you've given all these people a number between 1 and 20.
1 and 20, yes. And then we get into tomorrow, and I don't have the order yet, but we have Michael Joseph, Jeremy Lanby, Brian Kelm, Alex, DJ Alex Gorgaloo, I believe it is. And we got Bill Marsh, Lou Parrish, Thomas Heath, Matt Peterson, Big Daddy, DJ Scrappa, and Carrie Lynn.
This is amazing.
So we got a lot of content for you tomorrow night. 1 through 20. Bill, how many times are we going to do the generator?
Well, I'd like to see you do it a bunch of times. I can pick a number between 1 and what?
1 and 3. Okay, so we'll do 1 and 10.
5.
We'll do 5. Okay, so here we go. There
5 times.
1, 2, 3, 4. So right now, unfortunately, they've at number 4. So this would be like that would be the one I would have won. Place. This is the second place person. Carrie was second place at number 20. Let's see who is number 1. The winner is number 2, Aaron Thomas.
All right.
A-Rock is with the cruise ship presentation.
Yeah, he did the presentation earlier on, right after Ron.
Right there.
About being a cruise ship disc jockey.
Aaron is going to be the winner of, it's a $500 basically shopping spree at Animal
So he could buy me anything he wants to.
He could. He could buy you that $1 item that you were so excited about earlier.
I want $500 worth of gaffer tape.
$1 items. Oh, it'll be great. So our next presentation, we've got Michelle Miller coming up. Michelle Miller is also known as DJ Rundat. If you've seen it, she's been doing some different things on with QSC as part of that. I think she's been on a QSC sessions with Kristen and such. And she's been speaking around the country, and she's got a book and such out there.
It's very cool.
Yeah,
You're very lucky to have her.
Yeah, there's a lot of great people.
You didn't have any idea how uncool you were, right?
No one does that until it's too late.
Well
that's another story for another day. So, ladies and gentlemen, Michelle Miller with Get Your Shift Together.
Shift with an M.
Hello and welcome. I'm Michelle Miller, also known as DJ Rundat, and today I am going to be talking to you about getting your shift together. So who are you being? Who are you being during COVID? Who are you being during quarantine? Who are you being online? How are you representing your brand as a DJ? As a DJ, I believe that we are all unique, and as artists, we are unique in our creativity and who we're going to be as we're building a brand, our style. And it really comes down to our own unique individuality when we're marketing our business and our brand. And I believe that online marketing is the #1 way to grow your brand and get to know other DJs and network with other DJs. So when COVID hit, at first it was a big shock to the whole world. I was in shock. Many of my colleagues were in shock. What are we going to do? Our events are canceling. They're postponing. Our whole lives have changed. For us mommy DJs, I have 2 children. All of a sudden, we're homeschool teachers. Whoa, we don't have a break from the kids anymore. It's hard to focus. So what are we going to do? We went into grief. Some of us went into grief. I went into grief, grieving that I no longer get to play weddings and gigs, and I had all these fun events planned. One of them was Mobile Beat Las Vegas. And I was invited to speak on stage. I was invited in August. The event was set to happen in March. So for all that time, I was just getting so excited and pumped up and amped up and like preparing to hit the stage, preparing to experience my first DJ convention. Well, it canceled, like everything else. It canceled. So what are we going to do about it? We got our shift together. It went virtual. I was a part of history, the first ever virtual DJ convention. So what are the positives to this? Well, the show went on. I still got to present. I still got to DJ the house party. I got to network and meet all these DJs that were going to be there, that were going to speak there, that DJ'd the after parties virtually. So we still got to connect and learn from one another. So there was a bonus to that. But really, I realized the importance of support during COVID, how important it is to lean on one another, support one another, encourage one another, motivate one another. So me as a motivational business coach, I started a Mommy DJ business mastermind during COVID. And what I realized was that was really what we needed, was just support, someone to lean on. So lean on one another. This community of DJs is strong. Together, we're stronger. Collaborate, help each other out, like just support one another, show some empathy. It really is all about who you're being. Business is you. You are your business. You're the number one person to market your business. So how are you showing up? Okay, so there's days when, yes, I don't want to show up. I don't feel very positive, but I shift my mind because I know the power of my mind, and I know that I have a choice. Every day I wake up and I have a choice. I get to set my intentions. The power of intentions, it's powerful. So waking up and being like, what do I want to do today? Who do I have to be to do what I gotta do to get what I want? Okay, so a lot of DJs were like, I don't know what I should be doing during quarantine. Or they felt stuck, or they went into shock, or they were grieving. So as a coach, I was like, it's okay to feel like that sometimes, but not every day. You got to keep going. You got to stay connected to your goals and your vision and show up consistently. It's all about showing up consistently online and being authentic and showing who you are. Because like I said, business is you. People want to work with you because they like you. So if you show up online and promote your business, do some live videos, incorporate videos, share with the world what you're about, your skills, whatever you're up to, share it with the world, then people are going to connect with you. The fastest way they're going to connect with you is through video. So I recommend everybody be using video in your marketing on social media and your stories. Use videos, tell the journey, tell what it's like during COVID. Because that's how people are going to connect with you, and connection equals currency. It's your energy, it's your vibe. I feel like a big part of my success is because who I am when I show up at a gig. I'm easy to work with. I communicate really quickly. I'm reliable. I've built a reputation. Working on your branding is the number one thing you could do, because your branding doesn't go away. You will always have your brand if you keep building it up. And the more people that know about you, then the more business you will get. So when quarantine hit and was like, well, what do we do? What are we supposed to promote? Like, we're not really gigging. Well, I quickly shifted and started getting marketing materials built with my team to promote virtual parties. Now, they weren't easy for me because I live in the country with country internet, but we threw some really good parties, and I actually got paid some good money, like $300 an hour to do a virtual party. I think is really good money from working from home. So really it all comes down to the same business principles before COVID. It's like your network equals your net worth. So tapping into your community once again. Hey guys, I'm available for virtual parties. Like, let the world know what you're up to. I shifted and officiated my first wedding So for my DJ clients that were postponing or canceling or going from, bigger weddings to micro weddings here in Northern California, I offered, hey, if it helps you out to keep the numbers down, I can also officiate your wedding. So, shifting and getting creative in other ways you can help and serve your clients. Another big thing that I did through COVID to keep, my marketing and branding going is I built a team. I built a team of 12 interns when COVID hit, and we launched my podcast, the Royal Queens Rising podcast, in 1 month. So for over 2 years, I've been interviewing female DJs, and that's how I really expanded my network outside of my tiny little town of 900 people. I got to meet all these different people in the industry and connect and network and collaborate, and we help each other out. And that's one of the most beautiful things that's come out of COVID. So it's a great time to connect and network and reach out to your people. Stay active online, consistent. Just keep showing up. You don't have to do it every day, but create a system. When I built this team of interns and we launched the podcast, I had been interviewing female DJs for over 2 years, and that really grew my business. It introduced me to a lot of DJs. I learned about Mobile Beat magazine. I learned about all the different Facebook groups. I learned about DJing on cruise ships, endless possibilities as a DJ. But now during COVID, what can we do? So we've got virtual parties. I've gotten paid to do, private Zoom parties, or you could just DJ online. A lot of people are on Twitch for tips. You could do digital courses. I've seen lots of new creative membership sites popping up and different business coaching. You can give virtual lessons. Some DJs are doing DJ drops. Let's see. I'm a fan of throwing parties for the kids. So tap into your local schools, local kids groups. They're going to need it. My son started virtually today. He's 8. So they're going to need to exhaust some energy somehow. So, the party doesn't have to stop. Your business doesn't have to stop, but keep working towards building up your brand, like always. Marketing online, let people know about your services. And I have a feeling 2021 is going to be really amazing. So be you, be authentic, keep showing up. The more visible you are online, the more business you will get. Reach out to your network, lean into your network, nurture your network, build up those relationships, check in on your people. A little message here and there can really brighten someone's day. Collaborate and, be kind, be caring, reach out to your clients, past clients. Really, business is about relationships and about being, authentic in you and building your brand. And business development really is personal development. So who are you being? It all comes back down to who are you being? Are you being a Debbie Downer online? Are you being fun, positive, enthusiastic, optimistic, somebody that, you want to bring the energy that you want to be around? What you put out comes back in. And I really believe it comes down to just energy and who you're being. So think about what you want. Stay connected to your big dreams, your big goals, your big vision. Don't give up. Reach out to us. Anyone on in our DJ community, we're all in this together. We're here for you. And may 2021 be the best year yet. And 2020 is not over, so you can still make it great. Thanks for having me. Michelle Miller, DJ Run That, and cheers.
that was Michelle Miller, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it was.
Energy, motivation. Nice job. Very nice.
Get your shift together.
And a couple of the comments. It's always kind of cool. You're watching it, and then you're seeing the people commenting in the YouTube chat talking about that. Network is your net worth. Just fabulous.
Pretty
fabulous content and ideas. So thank you very much, Michelle, for putting that together for us. Awesome stuff.
It really, really was.
Bill, we've got one more presentation from Tony Fernandez. Now, Tony was with us at the DJNTV event here in Las Vegas back in February. Tony,
you're in Las Vegas right now?
He was there. No, he's. I
thought you said here in Las Vegas.
He was there with us.
Okay, got it.
There, not here.
What did you say? You never left. Oh my Lord!
I'm still there. It's incredible. They won't let me out. It's like,
the buffets are so good.
It's just that my key won't undo the door from this side. So Tony was down there, and he was in the chill room. The chill room, the first version of the chill room, the original chill room, was an actual room where Jay Brannon and Brian Redd basically hung out. There was music, and there was just kind of the low lighting, a place to meet and hang out, which is what our DJNTV.com/chill room is. So it's chill, not chill room. So DJNTV.com/chill. That's where you guys will go after we're done tonight, by the way. But Tony came in there, and he was playing, doing some mixing there because we had a the controller set up, and he was sharing some of his remixes. He really is into remixes, utilizing those in his show. And I've heard from numerous people who are like, gosh, Tony had some mixes I've never heard before. It's just some really cool mixes. So,
and he's a really smart guy. I mean, not only is he really good on the ones and twos, but he's just really, really a smart guy. He even has a podcast as well.
I think,
DJ to DJ. I know because he actually interviewed me, which makes his podcast my favorite podcast.
Wow, gosh. I didn't realize, Tony. I didn't realize you're scraping the bottom of the barrel. Hey, dude, I'll come on the show if you need.
Give it a second. Just let it sink in.
I'll come on the show.
No, he was smart. He classed it up. Come on, he brought me in.
I was gonna say, maybe that was the day you were running a coupon. Buy one Bill Hermann on your
Bill
podcast.
Hermann has a Groupon.
Anyway, Tony Fernandez is up talking about remixes tonight.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, what's going on? I want to welcome you to DJNTV, DJ Talks 2020, and today we're going to talk about remixes. For those of you who don't know me, and for those who do, I'm DJ Tony T. I don't know if you guys and gals have seen my play logs and whatnot that I post up every now and again, and it seems like every time I do, I get a lot of PMs, which are fine, about, hey, where'd you get this remix, and what's up with that, and what's this, and so forth and so on. So let's talk about it. Before we get into it, let's talk about what a remix is. To me, a remix is a new interpretation of a song that's created from individual parts. And of course that can take on a lot of different meanings, but generally that's what a remix is. A remix could be, a total deconstruction where you're just keeping one or two elements and one or two vocal elements and you're creating something completely new. Or a remix could be more like a re-edit where, you keep a lot of the original content and you're just kind of extending parts or accentuating parts. They kind of bring attention to other parts. You got mashups, which take, say like a cappella from one song and an instrumental from another song and put them together. You got dubs, you got bootlegs, there's just all kinds of stuff out there. But at the end of the day, they're all remixes. So why do I use remixes? Well, I think one of the biggest reasons, honestly, that I gravitate towards using remixes is I came to the realization a long time ago that we all have access to the same music, pretty much, especially now in the digital age. and it's been that way for about a good, say, 15 years, where if you hear something, you got a very high likelihood of acquiring that track between the internet, between retail outlets on the internet, between record pools. I'm pretty sure some DJ knows somebody that does some re-edit to whatever. Basically, if you want something, however different and obtuse it is, you can pretty much find it now. So for me, that's why I'm constantly looking for remixes, because it's going to set me apart from everybody else. Because again, we all have the same stuff. We all have access to the same music. But why am I just going to regurgitate what everybody else is doing? At least that's my framework. That's my chain of thought. That's what I do. Plus, I generally like remixes. I like having a different variation of a popular song, because even though a song is popular, we know radio is going to beat it to the ground. So it's nice to have a different version that still has elements of the song everyone knows, but it has like just a different little flavor, a different shine, a different take, but it's still recognizable. For me, that's kind of just the way my brain works, and that kind of segues into what makes up a good remix. And for me, I know that's subjective, but for me, I think a good remix is one that the crowd can access, that the crowd is not going to shy away from. Because what's the point of playing this remix that I got, that even if I think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, is going to go over the room like a lead balloon? It's just, I'm not there to be too cool for the room. I'm there to make sure that the room's having a good time. So what's the point in me playing this obtuse left field remix that no one in a mainstream environment, if you will, are gonna find affinity for? So for me, like I said, a good remix is one that people have access to, that people have affinity with, that people are gonna recognize. It's cool to have that dub remix that maybe 200 people have, and that may be part of your private stock. I'll whip it out when I play in the backyard kind of thing. But we are playing to the general public, so you kind of have to keep a foot on both sides of the street, if you will. You want to have a cool version that is going to set you apart and work, but you also want to have that same version be known. You want someone to be like, oh, I know this one. What I'm saying? Playing above the room really isn't going to do anybody any good, really. Using remixes helps in your transitions. I like being able to work in a certain space and work with a certain flow, and remixes allow me to do that. I know a lot of DJs like doing the quick mixes. They want to go in and out, and that's fine. And that's fine. And obviously there are remixes that facilitate that style of DJing as well. You want to do the 30-second in, first verse, first chorus, 90-second in out. That's great. There are a lot of remixes out there, and edits, if you will, that allow you to do that. That's the style you want. That's great. I tend to be more of a long form, so I actually like to let the music kind of breathe and kind of work, and I like to use space to transition from one song to another and create a vibe that way, and remixes allow me to do that. On that note, don't be afraid to use remixes. I know we still live or I should say work in an environment where, depending where you are, remixes aren't as accessible, and remixes aren't as accepted as the normal versions are. But again, I think that kind of works into a scenario where if you know your music and you're looking for the right remixes that will work for your crowd, you can have your cake and eat it too. Again, it doesn't have to be some overly reconstructed, totally divergent mix that is different than the original. But it's really not that hard to incorporate a good remix that works for you and works for your crowd into your repertoire, because it's a powerful thing. It really can open up avenues for you. It actually gives you choices. You're not stuck in the run-of-the-mill, I'm playing this version all the time. This time you can utilize remixes to help you get from one point to another. That's an important tool. And the flip side to that is, are there scenarios where remixes should not be used? Sure. You know, I mean, nothing's ever, there are a few things that are black and white. Yeah, there's going to be, you know, corporate events, weddings, a multitude of whatever type of event that may not require the need to whip out that awesome folder you just created on your hard drive that has 20 remixes and you're planning on playing 10 of them that night. Sure. You know, again, there's nothing solid. There's nothing written in stone that says when you do A, it's going to be X, and when you do B, it's going to be Y. Sure, there are going to be scenarios where it's just not needed. But again, you know, I mean, it's in this construct, you kind of, I just want to give you the information to be able to at least think about, hey, if I can play this version this time and see if it works, and oh wow, it did, what else can I do? Because again, it's just a really, really fun tool when deployed correctly and when leveraged at the right event, at the right time, with the right remix. It really creates a really magic moment. It really does, because again, it just puts you onto another level. It puts you to another way that you can make decisions. It opens up doors for you, and at the same time, it sounds cool. So there you have it. There's my DJ talk on remixes. If you have any questions, obviously hit me up. You guys see me around on the interwebs, if you will, and I'm there, and I'm not a hard guy to find. So thanks again for DJNTV. This has been DJ Talks 2020, and be safe out there. Keep them spinning.
So the whole idea of taking our regular album music and using remixes instead. Now that when Tony talked about that before we went to Las Vegas, I've never been one to utilize remixes in a lot of my events, but he really absolutely loves utilizing remixes much more than the album version in situations. So it's always kind of a different view of it in some ways, but yet it works. I mean, it's really truly a situation where different things work for different people, and it's probably more.
Well, I think like it is everything in moderation, right? I mean, when I was at the clubs, it was nothing but remixes, and I learned a lot about remixes back in those days. And then when I started doing private parties, I was doing nothing but remixes, and they were like, "What are you doing, man? We want to hear the song the way the song." So it is a good if you know your audience, if you use things in moderation, but also find a way to use them in a creative way, you can use those remixes to, like he said, spice up and create something new, without taking away, you messed up Sweet Caroline, right? You can play Sweet Caroline without messing it up, and they can notice that. And I think that's what he was trying to say.
Let's see. So letting things. There we go. I think we are. Yes, I'm caught up. Bill, we need a word because we're going to do the last viewer drawing. Now, Bill's going to give us a word, and we're going to give you 2 minutes to put it in. Oh, that's right. Okay, so 2 minutes to type it into the chat in YouTube. If you're not watching in YouTube, go to YouTube. Yes, you got to be on YouTube right now. So,
do the people on Facebook? Do they know how to get? Give them a link over in Facebook.
Let's see.
So they can get over to the YouTube because they can win. Okay.
That's not the right link. That would take them to. That would take them
You
back
want to be on
to
Facebook. Go to the Facebook chat.
There we go. So right there is
so they can pop over to YouTube so they can try to win.
right there. It went to Facebook. It went to everywhere. Click on that one. That's where you need to be able to enter in this magical word that Mr. Hermann is about to give us. You'll have 2 minutes, and then we will close it. Please only put the word in once, because I will go through and I'm going to grab the names of everyone who puts that word in. And of course, Robin sent the link for the chill room. Make sure you guys go there afterward. So the word is what, Mr. Hermann?
Discombobulate.
Try again.
Wait, what? You said it could be any word I want.
No. No.
Fine.
Fine. The word is fine.
Oh,
Write the word fine down. You have 2 minutes to put the word fine.
F-I-N-E.
F-I-N-E.
Fine. That's fine.
And
I'll give you an extra entry if you can do discombobulate. No, I won't.
Fine.
No.
The word is fine. Fine.
So
yes.
you got to type the word fine into the chat. And you got 2 minutes to do that. If you don't, you can't win.
And we're going to be giving away another $100
$100. That's right. $100 at NLFX Pro, which I think, you're giving $500 to the speakers. The people who came to watch, without them, we got nothing. Right.
Yep.
So I'm gonna protest. I'm gonna get a placard, and I'm gonna stand here to say that the people who came to watch should win more than the guys who came to speak, which is a little difficult for me because I am one of those speakers. So right now I'm just gonna I'm gonna be flip-flopping later, trust me. But for now, I am there for you guys. Look at that, discombobulate. People actually did that. I don't even know if you spelt it right. I'm not sure I pronounced it right.
You're gonna have to check that one. I'm busy typing here.
Oh, you're typing. Okay. John is checking here. Once again, the word is fine. So just keep on going. Keep on trucking, baby. Martin Keogh from Ireland is watching right now.
Excellent.
Which means it's 3:30 in the morning. He waited up to 3:30 in the morning to type the word discombobulate into the YouTube chat. This man has got 47 children. I don't know how the man sleeps. I don't know how he
Maybe that's
eats.
why he is up at 3 in the morning. It's,
You got to fight. You got to fight with those kids to be able to get a sandwich. So there we go. So how much more time do they have to get the word fine in there?
We should have, because of the delay, we should probably have 15 seconds right now.
15 more seconds to put the word fine in there.
Okay.
Everybody wants me to throw in the extra 100. Bill should give away a book. What book?
I was going to say, Bill hasn't written a book.
I'll give away a book.
Our
romance novel.
We've got our names in there.
So you got them all? You even not the ones near the last at the end?
Yeah, I got them all.
Because it looks like the last one was Tony D.
Yep. We're down to we got to Tony. So I'm going to reset the number generator because there were 20 names in that set.
So 20 people got in.
20 people got into that. So we have it set, our number generator from 1 to 20.
The odds are great.
So there's
So before we do this, if you'd like to bribe me,
yeah,
go ahead, type something.
There's absolutely no way a bribe is going to get you anywhere at this.
How is that possible?
Because we tried to make this as absolutely random as possible. So I don't know what number it is, and then we're going to go to a live website and we're going to click the random generator that Google's given us. Okay. The only one who's in control is Google. Okay, so Google, we can blame Google. We can blame Google for a lot of things, but today you can blame them if you don't win $100. Yeah, exactly. I also want to not only thank you guys for being with us tonight. It was great for you to hang out tonight. Chill rooms after this. I want to send a big thank you out to our DJNTV insiders. Their support of our channel, and not only monetary support, but support with sharing and being there and in the chat room and in the chill room and doing something. We've got a great group of people. Check it out. Come on out. come to hit some of the shows, but go out to the chill room in the evenings because there's a great spot to go and hang out and really be with your industry brothers and sisters to kind of.
And if nothing else, we need that right now. Okay?
Exactly.
We need that right now to be able to get together because you can't get out of your house, and this connection is so important. That's why I want to do more of these things. That's why I do my own little thing. The chill room, no, and that's immediately following this.
Exactly. It will be open and people will be hanging out pretty much all night long. All right, Bill, give me a number between 1 and 5. So
and if I don't, how much longer can this show go on?
Well, I think our wives are both wanting us to wrap it up for tonight.
So between 1 and what?
1 and 5.
1 and 5. So let's say 4.
4. So
4.
This is
hit it 4 times. 1,
2,
3. So who would have won if we said 3?
If it would have been 3, Zach and Keisha.
Oh my gosh, they are going to hate me.
They were so close. And now here it is for number 18, which is Melissa Peterson.
Oh my gosh.
Melissa Peterson, congratulations.
That's $100, Melissa.
$100 to use at NLFX Pro. Melissa, what you'll need to do is either you can email me at john@discjockeynews.com or you can message me on Facebook. Just go facebook.com/JohnYoungMN. Message me there.
Text me and I'll give you his home address.
Yeah, exactly. And you can
knock on the door outside.
Where's
John?
Where's the certificate?
How come you don't call me, John?
There's no certificate. Okay. Hey, that wraps up our show for tonight. Ian, MJ is going to be talking about curating a music library.
Right.
Jeremy Lambie, who DJ gear.
And that's the guy that you need to know. That guy knows about that. Okay, number 3.
Yes. Bill Marsh is going to be talking about building a legal back music library.
That's important. That'll be really interesting.
And let's see, Thomas Heath is going to be talking about selling to grooms. Lou Paris is Big Daddy's going to be coming in. He's wrapping up tomorrow night. He's going to be talking about motivation. And I didn't get a chance to check and see what the topic was for Shin Up.
Well, if you got anything out of tonight, you're going to get twice as much out of tomorrow.
There's going to be a lot of great stuff there tomorrow night.
Same links. Yeah. Tomorrow, same time.
Yep. You'll be able to type in.
And John will have a different host, so it'll be much more entertaining. It'll be someone who will be way better looking.
More charming, I was just going to say.
More charming, that's true. Well, I don't even know who it is, and that person's going to be all those things.
That'd be charming. Looks like we're having issues with the internet. So, hey, gang, we're going to wrap things up.
Okay.
Because I don't know how much we are. Thank you again for being with us, and we will catch you tomorrow night. Good day, everybody.
Go to the chill room.